I'm off to go bale my last round of hay for the year, and I've got my trusty support team here wishing me luck. Yeah, they look enthused. But before
I thought you were talking about me.
before I go bale, I've got to fix the baler, which I broke the other day. So anyway, let's go fix a baler. All right, so here's what happened the other day when I started baling. I actually overstuffed the baler, meaning I tried to put too much hay in at one time, going a little too fast, got a little too greedy about it, and I ended up breaking a bolt that goes right through here, which turns all these gears. So I'm gonna have to replace this, and after I do that, we'll be back up and baling. All right, ready to go bale. And just in case I make the same goofy mistake one more time, always good to have some spares on board. Might as well say hey to the donkeys while we're going by. All right, I'm on the way to the hay field. I thought I'd talk for just a minute about why we do our own hay. Predominantly when we're running our cattle, it's important for us to make sure that these animals are not being exposed to any kind of toxins. I mean, honestly, I don't want to eat that stuff, so I don't want to subject anyone to eating it either, whether it's, you know, my family, someone that we're selling to as a customer. I don't want there to be any potential toxins in that meat. And so we were having a hard time finding hay sources that were within a reasonable distance from us that hadn't been sprayed with any type of herbicide and pesticide. So when we realized we were having such a hard time finding that, we just finally made the decision to start cutting our own hay. And we've been doing that for a couple of months now. We're at the point in the summer, we're getting towards end of summer now, we're going to be heading into fall pretty soon. So this is going to be the last run of hay that we do. So this has been sitting here for about a day. It's dried down pretty good. I want to go ahead and get this out of the field and get it put up in the barn so that we're not losing any nutritional value in the hay. What do you do when your driveway's grown up and you haven't been mowing it all summer? Well, at least most of the summer. You cut it with the hay mower, put it in a windrow, and start to bale it. And there's the first bale of hay coming off from baling the driveway. Yeah, I figure it's adjacent to the pasture. It's the same grass just coming over. It's actually really tough. It's Bahia grass, and it's a tough grass. The lawnmower doesn't particularly like it. The hay mower that we use with the tractor has no trouble going through it. So it'll feed cows just as good since it's the same pasture hay or same pasture grass. So we thought, why not use it? So look who decided to come join me baling. Say hey.
Hey, that was a long walk down the driveway. It's hot.
Yeah. What do you think?
Ooh.
Baling the driveway beats cutting it with that lawnmower, doesn't it?
Oh gosh, yeah.
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 No more of that. We'll be baling this from now on.
Why waste the gas and wear and tear? I mean, geez, the cows get food. Perfect.
Cows get food.
I'm out. Bye.
Cows standing over there in the paddock that they're grazing in right now. That's some area that we're moving over to more pasture land. It's some wooded area. We're gonna get that into some silvopasture, but looking at those cows makes me wonder if they ever connect that we're sitting here making their winter, putting their winter diet together for them. Probably not. I've got a longer windrow here that I'm picking up. I thought it'd be a good opportunity for me just to share big picture with you what the whole thought process is behind the hay, what we're doing. So the idea here is that some of the pastures that we graze, we're getting this hay, we're cutting some of these pastures that the cows have already been through. It's summer, we've had good rain this year, so with the way we rotationally graze and constantly keeping the cows moving, they didn't overgraze these pastures. And so they haven't been on where we cut at right now. They haven't been here for about 40 days. And so within that 40 days with this Bahia grass, it allowed the Bahia to really go back into its peak growth phase, so where they're going to end up with the most nutrition when I cut this hay. So the hay that's laying on the ground right now, it was cut at its peak nutritional state, and therefore when the animals are going to eat that, we're basically halting that nutrition at that stage when we cut it. So now when normally in the winter that grass is just not going to have the nutritional value in it, it's going to continually deteriorate the further it goes into the winter. We've halted that deterioration process here, and so there's some, it's still not going to be as great as if it were a green grass naturally like they're getting in the summer, but it'll be pretty good. It'll be better than that standing forage, that standing grass that they would eat deep into the winter, sometime late January, mid to late January on into February and early March. So this gives them better nutrition through that time frame. The other thing that's important to note about what we're doing here is when we decided to start doing the hay, it was important to understand how we were going to go back and feed the hay. We weren't just going to feed it randomly at any point. And so we know exactly where we've cut the hay off of this year, which pastures we cut it off of, which ones it was, and which portions of those pastures. And so when we go back to feed this hay, we're going to be feeding those animals in that area. So it would be almost identical as if those animals were taking that forage off of that section of the farm. And the nice thing is that they'll be laying that nitrogen, their manure, back down in that same area that they would have taken it off of, or that they would have taken the grass off of. So again, even though it's not the exact same as them eating it in its growing state, it's going to be pretty close in terms of the way we're going to be managing this. And so, a lot of times, like in the previous winter, we really tried to push the animals on stockpile, and we felt like the animals just lost too much body composition doing that. And maybe what I gather that is that we just don't have the genetics there at this point. But I need to give the animals something to keep their body composition better through the winter. So we're going to go a lot more prepared into this winter. We're going to have a really nice. We're going to have a barn full of hay. I have a funny feeling when we get to the end of this, I'm going to have more than a barn full of hay, and I'm going to be finding places to get this out of the weather. So that's one thing. The other thing is that we've got some organic molasses. So for those cows that we need to keep that carbohydrate content up, we're going to be able to do that. And so we'll also have the stockpiled forage just like we did last year. So we'll have that hay that, this area that we just cut, we're just going to let it grow now. The cows are all for this. They're not going to be back on this until we get into the early portion of the winter. And maybe on this particular pasture, we won't get them here until mid to late winter. But the point being on this is that we're going to allow the grass that's in this pasture to regrow now. We won't push the animals back across this. And one point I did want to just kind of in a conclusion here make about this is that we left a time frame of 40 days since they ran on this before we decided to cut it. And the idea there was to let all the fly cycles, all the parasite cycles extinguish themselves, so that way we weren't worried about gathering any of those up, and we didn't run that risk of reintroducing those into the animals. Especially in the winter when that's not much of an issue. So we didn't want to create a problem for ourselves, so we let it go for at least 40 days. So that's what we're doing. That's big picture. That's what it looks like for us. This hay thing, we did some last year, but this is a little bit newer for us. So we're really trying to put our heads to the whole process and make sure that we're doing some things, make sure we're doing things right for the animals there. But listen, if you have some thoughts on what we're doing out here, by all means share it with us. I put these videos out for you guys to give feedback, so it's as much as a learning experience as anything. And I also like to put these out for those individuals that they know they want grass-fed meat. They want to use clean food production practices. That's the kind of food they want to eat. I want to give you insight into what it is we're actually out here doing, the thought process that goes into producing your food and what it takes to grow it right. It's not just about turning cows out into a pasture and all they eat is grass. There's a lot more management that has to go into it than that. And it's actually a fun process for me personally to be able to do. But it's just a lot more than what it actually seems like it is, just in the name of saying grass-fed. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Hey, if you like the video, hit it with a thumbs up. Make sure you share it with someone, let them know what how clean food's going to be produced. And check us out. Go over to harvesthillsranch.com. We've got a new website up now. We're excited about it. We've got the farm store on there. You can see what all we produce out here, and you can check out Leah's general store. She produces some pretty cool pantry goods for you guys as well. So anyway, guys, check us out, and we'll see you real soon in the next video. Take care. Another day baling done. Time to go get that baler cleaned up so it'll be ready to go for next year.